Hola, buenos dias, continuous liners. Hello, hello. This is Megan Burns coming to you live from the streets of Oaxaca. I have a little guest with me here. Look at this. It's un jaguar de, where am I? Almost said Oaxaca. Oaxaca. Este is a jaguar de la Ciudad de Mexico. Almost looks like a Chinese dragon. And but this is a jaguar de Oaxaca, almost Guerrero. Actually, that's probably Guerrero, which is a neighboring state. And beautiful mural. I'm up here on the rooftop of one of the restaurants where my group is going to be gathering, and so they open at 7 a.m. So I came here early to just finalize things with them and chat with the owner, the chef, because that's what I like to do. I like this restaurant because this is where Oaxaqueños eat. Oaxaqueños come to eat. I mean, I'm a gringo. I know I'm a gringo, and there's other gringos here. I feel like a lot of the restaurants cater to them and to foreigners, right, to visitors. But I like this one because it's like Oaxaqueños eat here, right? So anyways, that's kind of my deal. I have a beautiful latte on this 8 a.m. here in Oaxaca. I have good coffee in Oaxaca, and I've got my, they have good coffee in Mexico, right? Actually, everywhere has good coffee now. There's bad coffee everywhere, but good coffee is kind of the norm these days. And I got my continuous line warm-up book here, and oh my God, how is your continuous line love deal coming along? Who's doing it? I'm doing it. And, it's okay if you only do it every other day or something like that. You don't have to do it every day. I mean, a daily practice is good, but I've been a little, I've been elsewhere. It's not that I've been distracted. It's just that I'm working, right? And everyone works. Everyone has stuff to do. And so you have moments of like being more involved and then being less involved. And right now I'm quasi-involved because I'm preparing for my workshop. Let's see here. I'm going to do the diagonal ramen because that's a good way to warm things up here. Yeah, so I arrived here in Oaxaca. Today is Monday. Yesterday was Sunday. Yeah, I arrived here on Saturday, and I got here just as magic hour was kicking in, and that's when a lot of the parades are, and the mojigangas and the Las Chinas and the oh my gosh, I feel like there's more players in their parades these days because first of all, it's probably big money, right? Because every wedding, they schedule weddings all weekend long with all these like players. So that was cool to see all that, and then yesterday I woke up and my eye was like completely swollen shut. And that has happened to me before, but it happened to me when I was in Ireland, and I was like, I got really scared because I was like, my God, what is this all about? I can't see. And there were Irish herbalists on that trip because that's what the trip was all about. Not all about, but there was a lot of Irish witches, which was very cool. And I put a herbal tea bag, chamomile tea bag on my eye for a few hours. And I, of course, had my herbal tea from the Cañada with me. I don't leave home without it. And I put a Palo Dulce tea bag on my eye for literally about 3 hours and just laid there, which is not easy for me. I'm not one who just like easily lays around. But I was like, Meg, you gotta get this thing under control, whatever it is, right? And so yeah, I got up 3 hours later and it was better. And today it's even better. See that? Actually, I was able to even put my contacts in today. Yesterday I couldn't. Yesterday I didn't want to. I wanted my eyeball to rest. So anyways, yeah, feeling much better and got up early today and was able to get out and do some walking, and I'm still out there walking. My group is arriving 2 people arrived yesterday, and the bulk of people are arriving today, and then a few more tomorrow. And I checked in with our hotel. We got a beautiful hotel right there in front of the Santo Domingo. I should let you know where I'm at. I'm up here on the rooftop very close, right in front of Santo Domingo. You can't really see it all that well. There it is. Let's see. There's the Santo Domingo. There's the nun church. Here's beautiful, overlooking the city of Oaxaca. There's mountains over there in the distance. I mean, there's mountains everywhere here. It's a mountainous region. It's beautiful. I always forget how beautiful it is. I mean, I know it's beautiful and it's colorful. It's got a whole different color scheme here. It's Mexico, but it's its own deal. It's got its own style, its own vibe, as the kids say. Wait, I don't want to block I want my Jaguar to be in the frame with me because Jaguar. Actually, that's a little too much Jaguar now, isn't it? Let me see there. There. Well, I kind of want him to be in it. He's an important player. Jaguar energy, man. So yeah, Oaxaca's got its own special kind of vibe, but I could say that about every Mexican city, just like you can say that about any city in the world. It's each city has its own vibe. But Oaxaca is super cool. It's still, I mean, it's being gutted by Airbnb and tourism, just like every other popular tourist destination. And so I feel like that's part of the beauty of my workshops. I'm not trying to be like, oh, come on my workshop. But honestly, come on my workshop because we take note of things, of culture, local culture, right? Like in Oaxaca, the indigenous culture is still quite strong here. And so there's a bit of a contradiction of like, the old with the new, right? Which is everywhere, even in like New York City, right? Like the crush of technology, the crush of financial obligation, the crush of the pace of life is felt everywhere, right? And so you got Oaxaca, which is historically a very indigenous town. I remember being on one of my a tour here, not my tour, but I always go on tours when I'm here. Had to cancel yesterday because I couldn't see, just to learn about where I'm at, right? And the thing about Oaxaca is the only industry really is tourism. I mean, now it's mezcal, but that's gutting the land, right? Water. I mean, they've got big water problems here, right? The world has water problems, right? So it's not unique to just Oaxaca. But so tourism is their industry, right? And so there's like tension with that because while the tourism money allows people to live and sustain and afford their way of lives. It's the whole gentrification of their culture. And, even I've heard local Oaxaqueños say that, like, even the tradition of the weddings here, which are now mojigangas and las chinas, the girls with the big dresses that are swishing them and the baskets on their head, and the turkeys and the guys on stilts and the Taliches, the guy with wearing all the rags. I mean, it's super cool and super colorful, but it's now sort of been absconded by those with means, and the Oaxaqueños have to get married elsewhere, right? So that sort of tension, it's big here in Oaxaca, but let's be honest, Oaxaca's always had tension. It is a city that is known for their protest. It's not a scary town. It's not like, I wouldn't do a workshop here if it were scary or if we were in danger, right? That's just, I mean, the world is a dangerous place. You could, walk out of your bathroom and get attacked by a bat and die. Whatever. You can get electrocuted. I don't know. What is my point? My point is, like, the world, it feels like there's danger in the world, and there always has been, and there always will be, right? And so I would not bring my groups to Oaxaca if it was dangerous or if there was a chance of, being whatever. I mean, I wouldn't do it, right? I mean, even France, even Europe is having, like, protests and demonstrations, and it's funny because people go to France and they almost expect protest in the street, right? And I remember, what was it like last year when they had all the garbage on fire and rats, and what were they protesting? Oh yeah, when they were, the people were being asked to work to 65 instead of 62, something like that. We Americans are like, ha ha ha, we have to work till we're dead, right? And so there was all big protest, but there were people in sidewalk cafes and in restaurants drinking wine and having cake and with the protests, right? There's something about Europe where people don't mind that sort of. Now, if it gets super violent, yeah, no one wants to be around that. But there's almost like an acceptance of protest in Europe, right? And so here, historically, they have I'm not even going to go to historically because that's a long story. But they do have protests here in Oaxaca. They're protesting a lot of things often. But generally speaking, not down here. It's kind of the same in San Miguel. They keep the bubble pretty protected because that tourist dollar is really important. And if you start really scaring the tourist and and making them feel unsafe, they won't come and spend the money, which will then support the people, right? So while Mexico is a complicated country, it's a beautiful country, and I love living here, and I love bringing workshops here and showing people the beautiful side, the people, the food, the culture, the arts, the climate. It's hot here. And the people I know here that live here that I'm working with, they're like, yeah, it's a little bit, because I was here a year ago and I wore a poncho during the day because it was in the morning and in the evenings because it was a little chilly, and it's warm. I have my poncho because it's cool, and I hope I get to wear it, right? Because ponchos are cool, man. It's cool. In fact, I've stepped into that era where I'm embracing that I live in Mexico and that I can wear Mexican things. I even asked the girls, I said, I'm a gringo, is it okay that I wear some of these Mexican clothes? And they said, yes, it's okay. That whole cultural appropriation is huge now too, right? So I'm going to break for a little coffee here right now. So, yeah, excuse me. Jaguar energy. I'm doing my Zoom class today, all ready for the group. I've got my location with, I feel like it's a matter of time because right now it's hard to find a place where you can still get a good Zoom connection. You can't just waltz into any cafe and get on Zoom. Well, you could if you didn't have to say a word. All these trucks that you hear around town are water trucks. I don't know if you can hear that in the distance, but there's a water truck right here. There's a water crisis going on here and in many other places. And businesses have to get the trucks to come load up their water. Here, I'm going to let you see it. There it is, agua potable. And, like a lot of places, there's a water crisis. So the businesses have to get water filled up every day. Right? We're okay here. We're okay. But it is the way of the world, right? Like there's a water crisis in a lot of places, including the United States. And are we doing enough to thwart it or to be prepared for it? I don't know. My God, it's kind of daunting, isn't it? And this is another reason why I feel like I want to get out there and sketch the world while it's still here. No, I don't want to say it like that. But, it looks like we are looking at some stressful things in the future, right? There's good news. There's things happening as well. But, I was at a place where I was like, I don't know if I should do workshops anymore. I don't know if it's, this is really a good time to be doing traveling art workshops in a country like Mexico, which I love and which is beautiful, and the people I work with are beautiful, and it's a beautiful place to see, but there's just a lot of stressors in the world, right? And but in the end, I said, you know what else am I going to do? What am I going to do? It's not like I want to go back to the United States and get a cubicle job. My God, is there any quicker death than having to sit in a cubicle, a poorly lit cubicle, working from some soulless corporation that just... Anyways, don't get me started on that, okay? So what else am I going to do? I'm not going to go back to the United States and get a soul-crushing job. I don't think that I could go to the United States and do what I'm doing, because I don't think I would be able to support myself, because the cost of living is so high. I mean, maybe if I moved to Nebraska, but who the heck wants to live in Nebraska? My God. No offense to any Nebraskans. I'm sure there's some beautiful things. I love corn culture, right? Farm culture. It's all corporate industrial farms there. But anyways, don't get me started on the whole farming thing. Oh my God, what can I talk about? Should we talk about Trump? And his imminent jail time? Imminent, not eminent, imminent. No, we're not going to waste our energy talking about soulless... that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so what am I going to do if I don't do art workshops in Mexico? I don't know. Am I going to go to Europe? No, Europe is too crowded. There's way too many people in Europe. I often look at lists of workshops in Europe, and I mean, my God, it's endless. It's endless. Every instructor goes there. Every class goes there. And, I'm not knocking it, because believe me, I wish I could go. I mean, I would like to take a workshop, but do I want to go there and give workshops? Probably not. That field is pretty crowded. And the ones that are, the ones that I do see there are very expensive, right? I feel like in Mexico I can still make things pretty reasonable. But what is a bigger sell for Mexico is getting people not to think they're going to die when they come here. I've got Jaguar energy protecting me. No, Mexico does have a bad reputation, right? Unless you've been here, unless you've lived here, right? And then you see that it's very overblown by the media. It's very overblown by the media, right? And until you come here and experience it, you're not going to understand that, right? So what am I going to do? I'm just going to stay. I love Mexico, right? And I'm going to start to wear huipiles and dresses now. So now I'm going to be even more Mexican, and so I can't leave. Well, I could leave, but I don't know where I would go. Where would I go? My God, I don't know where would I go. So I don't know where I'm going to go. So for right now, I'm just going to stay here and do the thing I love to do, which is drawing. Continuous line drawing, urban sketching. I love to urban sketch. And I'm going to continue to encourage my community of artists who love drawing to continue to tell their stories, right? In your style, right? Like I do encourage the continuous line because it's very good for building skill. It's very good for building skill. Even like it may look like I'm just making a mess here, but it's actually, I'm building skill as I talk to you right now. I am, because even the diagonal ramens are the more hectic of the drawing warm-ups. But it's like I'm skating in between the vibrating line. What? Yes, I'm skating in between the vibrating line. And I'm strengthening my eye-hand coordination so that when I go out there to draw these very complicated... These aren't Baroque. What are these? There is a mixture of Baroque here because they've got some European influences here. In fact, we're going to be meeting with a local tour guide during the workshop tomorrow who's going to talk to us about the architecture and the history of the buildings and the rocks that they use. And it's a lot of greens and pinks, just like Guanajuato. So my question is, are they sourcing from the same place? I don't think so, because I don't think they're getting rocks here from Guanajuato, because in Guanajuato, those are green and pink rocks of Guanajuato, and here they got to be getting them from somewhere. So I didn't want to find out where they're getting their rocks from. But a lot of the buildings in the centro, I mean, it's got a strange mix of like the hacienda style and European influences. And the colors here, a whole different color scheme than anywhere else. So it's a really beautiful, beautiful opportunity to mix it up color-wise, which is why the saturated, well, I'm not even going to go to like medium specific. It's just I always get challenged on color choices here because the color combos are like no other, right? There's an earthiness about Oaxaca. It's very much, I feel very much of the earth here, and yet they use these really strong pigments. They're the indigenous culture of fabrics and colors and dress, right? Like, because it's warm here, a lot of the women, the indigenous local women, wear these big dresses that don't touch you, right? They're so big, but you stay cool that way because it's so big, right? And then it's just an observation. I noticed the American women who come here, they wear tank tops and short shorts, and because that's what people do in the United States, right? When it's hot, you put on shorts and you put on tank tops. And so I just see like the visiting Americans, they are showing a lot of skin. And the local women are covered up, but they're wearing these like big burlap sacks, basically. Someone said to me once, who wears huipiles, these big dresses, an American woman said to me, it takes a lot of confidence to be able to wear a huipil, because it's a big sack, right? But it does keep you cool, right? Because you don't have like things clinging to you, right? And then when the style to wear tank tops and shorts, then you get sunburned, right? And I have to be super careful. Like, I don't like wearing hats all the time, but I have to because I'm Casper the Ghost, and I've got some things on my forehead that I have to, and I've had things burned off my head before and my chest, and so I'm, whitey Irish, Chicago Midwest girl, right? So I got to really be careful. So those big dresses, you just can, you don't get sunburned then, right? So anyways, here's my diagonal ramen, and I'm going to finish big with a heart because that's how I roll, right? Let me have a sip of my coffee. Jaguar. I'm super grateful to be here in Oaxaca and to be able to do the work that I'm doing. But I have to say, as I get older, it gets a little, like when I woke up with my swollen eye, and it's honestly ever since I had the COVID, which has been over a year now or so. Yeah. But that really scared me because I got so sick and I was all by myself, right? And so there's something about when I'm traveling. My thing I love most in the world is traveling mostly by myself. Even when I was married, I would travel by myself. And then my husband would be like, so where'd you go? What'd you do? And I love that. I love telling him all about it and showing everything I did. So I've always loved traveling by myself. But now, when I got here and my eye blew up, and that happened to me in Ireland, there's this fear because I'm still traumatized from that COVID thing, man. Jesus H. Christ. And so I'm just going to remind myself, just go easy, right? Because it's okay to get scared, right? It's okay to be scared. I think everyone gets scared, right? We all get scared, and but just go easy. That's all I'm going to say. I go easy on myself and go easy on others, right? Glancing, whatever news you glance at, right? There's all kinds of things that I think no matter what your opinions or views or beliefs are, you just go, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This whole Taylor Swift thing, are you kidding me? this whole like ridiculousness of the United States and what's going on up there. But, you know, it's a reflection that everyone is struggling with something, right? Everyone is struggling with something. So I'm just going to remind myself, go easy on myself. Think of be a positive force, right? I feel like drawing things. You know, people have said, "Oh, you're that person that draws those cute little things," right? And yeah, I do. But I also feel like the drawing is of it's a greater purpose of good, right? It's contributing to the greater good, right? Even if it's just cute little pictures. And I'd say my drawings are a little bit deeper than cute drawings, but I'm not even going to get into what other people's opinions of my art is. But I like my drawings. I like how I capture the world that I live in and the experiences I have. And I love seeing the community, what everyone is doing, and how their drawings are reflecting the life that they're living, right? So there you go. Go easy on yourself and go easy on others. Keep drawing, keep telling your stories, and finish big with a heart. Live here from Oaxaca with the Guerrero, Oaxaca. No, this is a Jaguar de Guerrero in Oaxaca. There's a little bit of a whole different language here. Well, there's lots of languages here, right? Which they're trying to preserve them, right? So anyways, everyone, those of you that are joining me in Zoom, I'll see you in a little bit. And we're not having a Zoom class on Thursday because I'm in a workshop, and then I'll be back on Monday. But I'm going to be posting my drawings. I'm going to be, now that I can see again and I'm feeling better, I'm going to start drawing like the maniac I am. So have a good day, everyone. See you next time. Bye.